Hello there, people of the internet. My name is Uduri Jagero, and this is Dialogues with Jagero. How are you feeling, gentlemen?
Cold and hungry.
Huh?
Cold and hungry.
Surely. But you've just taken something here.
What have I taken?
Alisema ni kikombe cha kwanza. Anangoja kingine.
Eh? Let's talk about what Wale said when you were in our house, Rex. That it is... Do you remember the exact word that he said?
He said something.
It is extremely unfair to expect a man to be with one woman for the rest of his life.
Yes, and of course, when he says that, I'm always asking about the other side.
Which is?
The woman's side.
According to the gentleman, he was like, women are okay.
Was he saying that?
I think Jagger assumes that he said that. He didn't say that, but I am with Wallace.
Most of the time when men say that it is grossly unfair for a man to stay with one wife for the rest of his life, when you flip the coin, they disagree.
Yeah.
And how do you agree with Wallace?
Because he can only speak as a man. That's all he knows how to be. He knows as a man he's got the testosterone. So when they awaken him in the night, he knows, man, I have this woman by my side, but the kind of erection I'm trying to get now is for someone else. You know, he's the one who can feel it as a man. So if he says that it's incredibly
difficult,
unfair
to expect a man to have one woman for the rest of his life, he knows it. He's speaking like a man. We don't have to bring the other thing of the woman side, you know. As for me, I'd like let's get a woman on this point, and then have the woman tell us like, yo, sisi pia wanawake, we feel like we should be having different dicks at every time of sexual experience, you know. There
is something you talked about in Luo culture. And then Wallace was also bringing the idea or the aspect of the Kalenjin, the Maasai culture. And I think those cultures, they are Niluti cultures. They are probably the same. But he disagreed, saying that, you know, he was saying, Rix, that a woman also would most likely go for, you know.
Yeah. I think I agreed on him on the part where he said most of these things all have nuances. It's not black and white, right? As I mentioned, I think in the podcast, was because we live in a patriarchal world as much, a lot of this behavior is more visible in men. It's more visible in men. I do not know if this is a biological makeup, right? I don't know, because again, like I said, and I think Agak agrees, or Kwajidala for that matter,
yes,
we know very little of women's desires.
Yeah.
We know very little of women's fantasies, and we know little of their bodies as well.
Yeah.
So, because for so many years, men have been more vocal about who they are, especially through their behaviors, it is, and then also, the other thing that is important to note is when it comes to the spread of information via media, which is especially through literature, the history in the last 500 to even 1,000 years, most of the time it's men who've been writing about sexuality. It's men who've been writing about desire and all that stuff. So they have been writing, and especially white men have been writing from the frame of how they see themselves, right? We know little about what women also want. So because the market has been saturated by men's ideas, we think that is what is normal. That is what life is all about. But then I've been meeting very many women who say don't necessarily ascribe to just having one sexual partner.
We were in a car the other day after a podcast, and this lady was talking about mingling parties where people go and mingle.
Swinging or mingling?
Mingling, yeah.
What do you mean?
Dating?
Mingling is where people just go to
network,
to a party, and they mingle.
Yeah, okay.
And sometimes people have sex there.
Yes.
You know? That's what you call swinging.
No, that's different. Swinging is like where me and my wife and you and your wife, we come,
Yes,
and then we exchange. That is swinging.
That is swinging.
And I'm having sex with your wife, you're having sex with my wife.
We are watching.
Depending on the terms.
So this guy was telling me that he went to he organized a mingle.
That thing has terrified this guy.
That is really, it's bonkers.
It's terrified
but
this
yo,
Hey.
such arrangements, man.
Ay, man. Hizo ni ya wazungu bana.
We assume they were Zungu, but cultures are so complex.
But this guy was telling me that he organized a mingle. And and people were paying 5,000. And obviously a lot of women came. And the ratio was like lopsided.
Yeah, men don't show up for these things.
So one of the people that came for this mingle is a friend of him that he knows for a long time, a lady. And the lady was engaged and was getting married in a few months. And she was in this mingle.
Wow.
Without the man.
Oh, Lordy.
And these ladies told this guy that, you know what, you can't just we cannot pay you 5 Gs. You bring us to a mingle and there are no men. You will call your friends. This guy calls his friends and 9 men show up because now it's free.
Where was I?
I should have better friends.
Nibure.
You know? And he's saying that the woman that was engaged, alimonu huko vibaya,
the sex was good.
Was taken by one of the men. And he went and got married.
She went and got married?
With the other guy and stayed with this man that came for this mingle.
Oh.
Kept him.
Yes.
They were still banging in the other marriage.
Yes. And then he asked her, what's going on? Saying there are things I can do with this other one. Yeah?
I can't do with the other.
The other one. Yeah? Polished, good marriage, church, nice.
Socially acceptable.
Better man.
I think, speed dating or not, women struggle with such relationships.
Do you want some water?
Because a ninja,
Food is what I need.
a lady was telling me a story. She came to my inbox and she was telling me about a pretentious SDA man that he's dating back in Kisumu. So and she was like, we've been dating, but I just don't like how pretentious he is. He can't do this, he can't do this. He swears he can't date in the sense that I like it. He can't. Even the sexual experience is very different. It's very limited. He cannot go down on a woman. I don't like that pretense. And she was like, but I believe, the image that people have of you, but I believe you could be the opposite.
She was telling you that?
Yes, I believe you could be
that
opposite.
is a really nice intro kukukatia ba.
That's a nice intro.
Because they are making you feel like, you unatosha mboga.
It makes you feel like, sometimes it makes you feel like, okay, what's the image that
unanichukulianga
But I think women struggle with such issues. Like what Jacob Aliet was saying here, there's the man that you keep because he provides, he does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He meets you at your specific hour of need. But these other things, the kings don't match,
And the BDSM.
But men also struggle with the same.
Yeah.
The idea that you have the homemaker at home who takes care of your children and is makes your life stable, takes care of the laundry and all that shit, but then kuna mwingine huko mwenye anakurukia kama spider.
Anakupatia bedroom acrobatics.
Bedroom bully.
Yeah.
Bullying in the bedroom.
So it is just there. The struggle is there. It's very shared struggle, if you ask me. It's just that we are not willing to admit these are the realities. We are not really willing to admit. I think I think what I find really amusing, Jagero, is the fact that, growing up in a Christian home, there is what the Bible is telling you, which as a child you assume that everybody is going to follow this book to the latter. Fam, you grow up and then it's like every Christian has their own version of practicing this faith. You get what I mean? So utapata kuna huyo jamaa atasema hata go down, but they will still cheat. Sisi mimi nitafanya hivi, lakini kuna side nyingine ya Ukristo yangu inikubali nifanye hivi. We twist it, we personalize the faith to make it subjective to us,
to make it serve us.
To make it serve us. So it is very confusing for me actually when I was practicing religion, because those are conflicts I also had, right? And it goes back to, I think every situation, every relationship has its own nuances. So for me, it's like there's this animal called society that we want to put here and say, okay, this is how I will appear in society. Agreeable, that guy dresses in a particular way, has a particular job,
family
speaks
man
in a certain way, is a family man, shows up in church every fucking Sunday or Saturday, or goes to mosque on Fridays, vaa kanzu kila kitu. And then there is the other side, the young, kuna yin, the other side, which, and that shadow side, the quote unquote what we are calling dark side, we don't talk about it publicly. It's a hidden mystery, right? It is evil to talk about it. It's even illegal to think about, right? And for me, that's where I fight with this animal called society, because even as a child, my father was a staunch Catholic guy, and on Saturdays he's being brought home carried by his friends because he's drunk. Guy can't walk on his own. Sunday morning nimeshikwa katikati yao huku, baba ananishika mkono, mama anashika, tunaenda kanisa, and he's making those announcements after misa, Now, this Bible is telling me this man is supposed to be clean. He's supposed to be pristine. He's supposed to be looking in this kind of way, right? But the reality at home is pretty different. These pastors that you hear of in these churches, for example, because, I'm sorry, religion is the easier part to see because the discrepancies are just too open. Jamaa anakula mabibi za watu kwa ofisi yake. Lakini kwa pulpit he's preaching about these so-called 10 commandments, about how this is the way to live in ways that pleases the Lord,
against infidelity,
against marital.
Agak, what do you think about this? If you had the money and the ability, would one man be enough for you? One woman be enough for you?
Possible. Let us not assume he doesn't like men.
This one doesn't like men.
No, I don't like men.
You like men. You don't like men sexually.
I like men, but I don't like them in a sense of fucking with them.
Fucking them.
Fucking with them, either way, or getting fucked or doing the fucking. I'm a pussy nigga.
You're a pussy nigga.
I'm a pussy nigga.
Pussy whisperer.
Yeah, pussy. Yeah, this thing is like Rick says, I think we all have that bits of ourselves that we'd like to explore sexually. And the animal, the society, the animal, as Rick calls it, gives you the rules, gives you, okay, you are not supposed to do this, you are supposed to do this. So as a person, you have your dark secrets, all right? You're like, I can do this, but let it be kept unknown, let it be kept in the dark. We were talking with someone, and we are like, if everything you did behind closed doors, what if everything you did behind closed doors were to be brought to the open? Could they match what we consider the normal sexual nuances of an everyday African man, of an everyday religious man, whatever the image you have chosen to show the society? Could your sexual indulgences, all right, reflect that? And we find that no, because let's now flip it and go back to women, all right? You find that there's a woman who will keep you who will come back to you because sometimes it's not even about the sex, but it's like how it's done, it's not like the pounding and everything. It's like, how does this make me feel, And you do the same. You do the same thing. You could be dating a lady whom you don't want to be seen with, all right? Tunajuanga tu, Rex, I was telling you this story about my cousin who had a lady for the Friday. Alikuanga na dem, the girl comes on a Friday, nobody sees the girl. But every Friday, he had that girl come in, but nobody was seeing her. Now, if you went and asked that ninja, what is it that you do to this lady? What is it that this lady does to you that, yes, you are ashamed to be seen with her, but you find it very convenient to keep her coming back to you? What is it that she does to you? You find that in your mind, you could already begin seeing things, that there could be some things that goes off, all right, the script of an everyday sexual experience that makes this person come back to you. These experiences matter. I think you go to people because of the different things that you get from them. And this is why I agree with Awali. It's incredibly unfair to reduce
It took you that long to say it,
yes.
to count on.
Yes. It's incredibly unfair to expect a man to have sex the same way with the same person after so long. All right? Now, when we put the mechanics of it into context, think of relationships, when relationships begin. All right? You are excited about everything. The kissing, the touching, everything, just the presence. You are excited about this. And as you know, familiarity breeds contempt. All right? Now it reaches a point that nobody wants to go the extra mile. You want to have sex like goats. You're horny, you want to jump on it, and then it's gone. But in the past, you'd lure her, touches, kisses. You'd invest in the foreplay. But after some time, it's just like every sex feels like you are trying to make babies. You just ejaculate and go away. And it's something that it's a journey upon your relationship. It's not just something you can jump out of. So while your journey with this other person has grown into something contemptuous, there's another lady who wants to take you back to the beginnings. All right? There's another lady who awakens the young Jagero. There's another lady who, manze, like, do you understand?
Yes,
it nourishes the spirit. It nourishes the spirit. It does this. So for many reasons, you'd want.
She makes you feel young again.
Yes, you'd want to have different partners, and there are people, like, you can like a woman for different things. So you could be having different women and you love them for different things. This is why when there are scandals on Facebook and they bring the ladies begin talking of one man who fucked them, and you parade the ladies, and they are very different. They are very different. one is fat, one is dark, one is bald,
One is plus size.
one is plus size. All right, and this ninja can keep all these people because he gets different things. With that said, that doesn't mean that all men are inclined to date different people. Due to different things, a man might be tied to dating one man, to dating one woman. All right, because of different things.
There's an explanation that you gave that you most like you like having
Yes.
a regular pussy.
I like having regular sex when I'm dating. I think I'm a very faithful ninja when I'm dating. When I'm in the dating world,
So how do you deal with that boredom, for example, in that time you're dating this one person?
I won't call it boredom. I'll call it chemistry. There's you are not bored of the person. They are still your bestie. You still enjoy chatting with them. But when it comes,
I think what Rix is asking is how do you want and get more?
Rex, is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe boredom is not the right word. It's hiyo kuzoeana hiyo tunasema.
Yes.
So
contemptuousness.
Because you're a faithful guy.
I'm a faithful ninja. When I'm dating, I'm a very faithful ninja.
I find it very difficult. Sometimes I really find it very difficult when you guys say that you can be faithful when you're dating.
Oh,
really?
man.
Yeah, because you're used to eating sukuma wiki. The other day you are eating sauna. Tuna. The other day you were eating tuna. The other day you're eating crayfish.
Riggs.
Then suddenly now you're just eating omena and you're claiming that you're...
The girl, when you're dating, there's a lot of aspects. There's a lot of new dimensions to this thing. All right? It's now beyond just sex. Because I think very few people... Dating for just sex is unsustainable. You can't date for just sex. All right? So I think sex is just part of it. And when having sex outside the marriage interferes with the chemistry that you have built with this person, the quality of this relationship, then there's a lot at stake now. All right? You don't want to fuck with someone else, but then post-cum clarity, when other people are having post-cum clarity, yours is now post-cum regrets. You're like, man, should I be doing this? I've had such a moment when you were dating someone else, but then you had sex with someone, and that moment when you were just naked, you've ejaculated, she's wiping herself, and you're there like thinking, man, is this really worth it? So when you are dating, you have to think of these other things, because the moment, if you are dating and the moment you have this other person, it actually leaves you with another feeling, right? Should this be it? Sometimes you go and try it, and then the sex is whack, all right? It's not what
you
was
envisioned
promised.
or imagined.
It's not what you imagined. It's not. They're like, no, this is not it. This is.
Rix, how about you? Do you feel like you need more women in your life?
Oh. I do not need more women in my life. I have enough. But it's easier for me to be committed to one partner when I'm dating them. I find it incredibly hard to have sex with multiple partners when I'm dating one person. It's incredibly difficult. First of all, emotionally. Secondly, logistically. It's too much. Yeah. It's really just too much, because you can only hide so many times, right? And it's not a life. It's like you umejiongezea burden nyingine kwa maisha yako, trying to keep away your partner from knowing these other things you're doing by the side while keeping up with these other things so that they stay on heat. Fam, it's just too much work. And you have a work life. Yeah. You have other things. Your parent is calling you from where they need you what. You have friends you need to meet, man. It's just too much work. So for me, I find that interestingly, I love being centralized. Like when my life is centralized. For example, I might look like I have very many friends, right? Because, social media, whatever. And indeed, it's not a lie. Like, I do have many friends. But how many friends do I really hang out with? Even you people can count, right?
Yeah.
And I most probably in this phase of my life or the last couple of years, I've been spending more time with you guys, right? You can tell where Rix is. And when you want to come to my house and I tell you there's somebody, I tell you there's somebody, right? So my life is easier that way when it's centralized. So even when I'm dating, I think one of the things that, and this is among the few things that I may say I even agree with Jacob Aliet. It's Aliet. Very hot indeed. It's the part about abandoning yourself. I have a bit of history because of, again, childhood traumas, abandonment issues, where sometimes I don't spend enough time with my friends when I'm dating somebody. It's like this person takes all of my life, But that aside, I just find it easier to be with one sexual partner when I'm so when I'm not dating, then I'm a free agent.
And that is what I want to ask, because it is very confusing to me. When you guys saying recently Onyango has been talking very dubiously about marriage.
In what context? Are you a happy man?
I thought you wanted to say recent lyrics has been banging.
No,
Me, I'm always banging. It's always the case anyway.
He's among the people that think about marriage as it's slowly losing taste. It's not really working. People are not really happy in it. But so the confusion is when you say that you are a free man and fucking around and having many women, this weekend another woman, another weekend another woman, next month another one, and when you are dating, what do you mean by that?
It's just
what is dating?
It's just as it is.
What is dating?
It's saying that I'm emotionally investing to be with somebody beyond just the sex, right? And even with the sex, I'm saying I want to centralize my loins in your under things, right? And explore what life can be with you in that context. I am saying I'm not going to be fucking other people or having sex with other people outside this agreement that we have with you, right? For safety purposes, health purposes, for security purposes also, for logistical purposes as well, right? And so when I'm not dating, it's also just the same. Like if there's somebody who wants to have sex with me and I also feel attracted to them, I don't think too much about it. And we sort of like each other like that. Like, and they also understand this is not it might happen again or it might not happen again. Hatuvurutani ati sijui nini ama nini.
Is that your definition of dating?
The situations that is described that keeps him stuck to one woman when he's dating pretty much applies to me, because I feel dating is work. All right.
Yeah, it is work.
And you are introducing someone else into your space. And what I've never liked about the dating life is when you have to hide another bit of yourself, and you're playing hide and seek. It's a lot of work, because now you have to think of what are the messages on my phone. All right. Where is my phone? Where the fuck is my phone? All right, and then logistics. All right, logistics. When you're not dating, anyone can walk in. All right, anyone, you can call someone, comes to your house, you do whatever you do, they go away. But when you're dating, you have to make room You want to, like, okay, my girlfriend is here this weekend, she can come and announce. So even your house doesn't become the best place to do this thing, all right? Now you have to involve a lot of things to get your 2 minutes of honest work.
If you even get to the 2 minutes.
Yes. And then I was talking about the quality of sex, quality versus quantity, all right? I feel that when you have stayed with someone for some time, it's not always that it's only contempt that grows, I think you also get to know this other person better, all right? You get to know when Mateka talks of conditioning the vagina, the vaginas are different. It's true, the vaginas are different. You get to know this person and what turns them on, just beyond the vagina. This person, if I touch them at this point, they behave like this. This turns them on. And in that, now you get an upper hand of improving the kind of sex that you give and receive. And in matters safety too, I think you're safe if you're having unprotected sex, all right? Even in you feel, even if there's always the room of the other partner, of your partner doing it outside, there's just a feeling within you that you feel safe, having raw sex with one person that you are dating because you believe they are also invested in this. But someone who's just walking in,
Somebody who's walking in.
Yeah, someone who's just walking in, you just talked, let's have sex. You will want to use protection all the damn time. And you know what that does to you. For me, it's not the kind of sex I enjoy. It's the kind of sex that you do for reprieve. There's a lot of nyeg in your body, and you want to feel nice. You want to let the energy, you want to free the energy.
The reason why I'm very confused about your definition of dating, because the classic definition of dating is actually, because I thought I was mad. But actually the idea around dating is a stage in a person's life when they engage in romantic or sexual relationship with others, typically with the aim of assessing the suitability for a very long time relationship, but most likely marriage. So it's interesting that you guys don't think about dating as a route to marriage. That dating is just Rick's definition of dating is mind-boggling.
It's like Jagera, I believe that's a textbook definition of dating, and there's nuances to relationships, as Rick likes to say. Not everybody dates to get married. For me, dating is just someone like, this is gonna go on for a very long time. You like this person, you like other things other than the sex. So like,
what other things would you like on somebody other than the sex, Agak?
Company.
Conversations.
Conversations. Do they care? The chemistry that make, like, Jagero, you've been my friend for the longest time and we are not having sex. What night? Yeah, same to Rick. Yeah. So I feel there's when you are dating someone, you are actually looking for more than just sex, because I'm telling you, I think it's pretty stupid to date for just sex. It's just something that people used to do to get women, because in the past, if you go to a woman that can we just have sex, it would be really hard for you to get laid, all right? Because women wanted a promise of something. People wanted to date. They wanted you to be this friend they can see regularly, they can talk to, they can show to their friends, So there's more. There's more that you can get from a woman other than just sex. And if I can get more from you other than sex, then that ticks the box. Okay, I think we can be here for a long time. I think we can date. But if I'm just interested in getting a dip, all right?
A what?
A dip.
A
Just
dip.
the tip. Kichwa tu. If I'm interested in just that, then I can't date you for just that.
It's too
unsustainable. It's unsustainable. You will get sex once,
actually
twice.
you could really easily resent somebody as a result, because some days that sex won't really be nice, because even when you're dating one person, even when you're married to one person, it's not like sex is always explosive. Some days mnasaidiana tu kimwili mnalala. It's true. And for me, Jagero, those are the issues around sex in marriages that I feel we hide about. We are just hiding about it. Let's just be honest. Sex won't be great every day. It's impossible.
But is somebody saying that it's going to be great every day?
Who?
No, I'm asking you. Who is saying that sex in marriage is going to be great?
It's the imagination that we have. The promise is that everything is going to be great in marriage.
But they are married people. Just ask them if it's going to be. Is it great every day? Just ask them.
That's what Wallace was even saying the other day.
You're one of them. You can tell us.
Tell you what.
I've been married before, and I know sex is not. It's not good every day. Like Rick says, some days it surprises you. All right. Some days surprises you. Some days too good. Other days.
And then also now, like, we are never even prepared for those ups and downs of like that sexual life being like that.
Yes, being as tumultuous as it gets.
Yes, we are not really even psychologically prepared for
I think that when people talk about marriage, I've been married for the last 9 years. And a lot of people go into marriage with a lot of expectation.
Yes.
And with a lot of ignorance.
Yes.
And with a lot of happy ending figuratively, or happy ending fantasies that we are going to be having these beautiful girls, these beautiful boys, and it's going to be like this, going to be like that. I don't think marriage is like that.
I don't think any human being is like that.
So marriage. You can imagine that you can't even stay with your brothers and sisters in harmony, and you were born with them, you were children with them. Then you are an adult, 35, and you meet this woman in town who is also 36, who doesn't know shit about you.
32
Take me for example. I am a very uncouth person.
Oh, for sure. Oh my God. That's the most honest you've ever been in this podcast. Very uncouth. That is so true, man. In fact, it amazes me because those days I used to visit this guy when he lived alone. His house was pretty clean.
Yes. No, man, the cleanliness is something else. Uncouth in terms of cleanness. Bruh, me, I'm clean. I'm just.
But the man as the man.
No, I just think that I'm a bit thorny.
Yeah, you are for sure. You have your roses,
abrasive,
but the thorns, man, they bite, man.
Yeah.
So sometimes I wonder about Julie also, cause
my wife.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
You should. I think Julie knew me for 7 years before we got in. We married each other, and she sort of saw a lot of me before we got married, and so when we got into marriage, I don't think that there were so many things that were shocking her. You know, there is a way you can date somebody for 2 years, you hardly know about that person, bro. And you know, we are in a project with Julie. Poetry Sport, we were in that project with her. She saw me in my angriest moments.
And to a person.
Sasa hiyo ni nini una? Sasa huko wapi?
You will watch it, I swear, if a woman sees you in that and loves you, they love you for sure.
But now, Jagero, you understand why we say it's stupid to date and marry for just sex.
Yeah. And so I was talking about marriage. So you most people get into marriage with people they really don't know. You know? You have not. See, you are the one telling me who was saying that there are people who have never seen each other naked.
Bana.
Yeah,
who was saying that?
Awale was saying,
oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, bana.
In darkness.
In darkness. Just having sex.
Jamaa anaona mbala after how many years?
Yani hiyo mbala ndo ameona ilikuwa after 7 years. Stima ilirudi. Stima ilipotea.
Then they were having
ordinarily they switched the steamer off, but this time the steamer went off by itself because ilipotea. And when it came back,
the guy is so sad.
And the ninja saw the scar for the first time.
How is that even possible?
For the first time.
So that's the problem I have with our approach with especially these monogamous marriages, especially those monogamous marriages. We perform a lot. There's just too much performance. There's too much performance about my part as a wife.
You know, some people, when we were going for this, I was reading about this whatever.
Premarital counseling.
And reading books written by these Americans about some people talking about calling each other maybe twice a day.
The fuck?
You know, they are telling check on whatever, they are telling you blah blah, do these things, like a long ass list of things things you need to do in marriage. I can't do those things, bro. Mimi, I became independent when I left home. Kisumu. My mother. In fact, I was already independent even in high school. My father used to buy me omena for 500, no, for 250. And I had to figure out where I'm going to get unga to eat with that omena. I was living in a bigger ass house.
The mad house.
Yes. Yeah. As someone in Form 3, I was living in a gable house that was so big that some motherfucker had gone to the village and built a Simba there. You know? It was so big, it was the size of this room, even bigger than the size of this room.
What?
Yes.
You with your mattress in there?
Me, which mattress? Par.
You and your par and omena.
And omena. And darkness.
You are using Nyangile.
Yeah, I was using Nyangile. With no running water. With nothing. I lived there like a caveman. Going to school.
You were a caveman going to school. It was not even like...
Yes, I was a caveman going to school. I went to school like that. And basically my life was in my hands because my mother, who is the only person that appeared to care about me, hajiwezi. Hey, unamuomba 100 anatoa wapi. So I was just an independent motherfucker. You know? So you grow up like a porcupine. You have your...
That is where you get the thorns. You become very thorny.
It's true, man. You kweli, man. You kweli. You kweli.
Wewe mtu akikusumbua unafanya hivi alafu thorns zinatokelezea. Because that's how you defend yourself, bro. So that's how I used to be. That's why I'm Tony, you know? I believe that everybody is there to take from me. The government, especially in Africa.
You know, Koa is very easily defensive. I don't think he even knows that.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know he's easily defensive.
Hey, yeah. Those are traumas.
Lipa mimi tongeka. But you see, that's the other thing about getting to know this person that you want to be having sex with in a committed relationship.
Yes.
Because in my earlier, especially in my 20s, there's just something I came to fathom. This idea of going out for dates, to get to know somebody and everything. You're meeting in restaurants. Everything is so measured. Yeah. Everything is commercial. It's so measured, and it is glossy as fuck. You know. So
it is at the restaurant where you can't say that pesa haijatosha. Niongezee kitu.
Sasa umetoa jasho hapo unapigia gak. Uko na 500. Unitumie niongee nimekwama.
Unaenda kupika kwa lu.
Bana.
Hata huwezi kupika kwa meza.
Hiyo ni maisha gani?
You only plan dem atakunywa tu, you plan for a drink.
Bana.
But sana amekula.
But do you know there is a time we really laughed our hearts out?
Yeah.
A friend of mine, the girl was having a birthday, and he told the girl that he's going to take care of, you know, those CJs have got nice little cakes that they give to birthday people. CJs. My coffee. So he told the girl that he's going to provide coffee and the cake
as a CJ package in his head.
Yes. So we were in a car with another friend, And we really laughed about that thing. The fact that this guy had pre-ordered cake and coffee. You pre-ordered cake and coffee. And definitely, and so we asked him, so why? So if the lady shows up and says that she doesn't like coffee and she wants something else, like those things that women like taking, what are they called? Hii ya white tea, yenye wanataka penda kumumunya hii.
Milkshake.
Hiyo. So akisema anataka kukunywa hiyo,
uko nje hesabu.
So this guy told that girl that is the only thing they can order. Beforehand. This is beforehand. They have not showed up.
Did the date go through?
They came and they took that cake and that coffee. But as you can imagine, that kind of honesty does not haikuzi relationship.
Haikuzi, yes.
Hey.
It's just another Jagero trying to be defensive, trying to be, trying to protect.
That's what I really dislike about, and I think for me, I feel sad that all of us fall into that trap of impression.
Yeah.
We fall into that trap of impression, and that trap of impression is what really speaks into this disillusion about what relationships are supposed to be. Because if we are only meeting as impressions, we are not being realistic about what life really is on an everyday basis. There's a guy called Osho, whose talks I really like so much, and he said, like, in a relationship, you cannot continue being clever.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, because then that means you're 4 people in that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
2 of you are.
How do you write Osho?
Just Osho, the way I've announced it.
OSH.
Yeah, OSHO. 2 of you, there's 2 masks, and then the real 2 of you.
Yeah.
So the masks are the ones that are connecting.
Yeah.
But the 2 of you are very distant from one another. You see, you can't. And that's why I talk much about how I'm seeing marriages are. Because there is the expectation side, but then there's also the ignorance, and then the genuine lack of information.
Yeah.
That people really don't have information about how to go about shit. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
We are very confused about.
I think if you want to be a good human being in this world, create your formulas. And then create your answers. Because one of the things that happen is that you suffer alone.
Yeah.
You don't suffer with the society.
Yeah.
Or with your partner even.
Yes.
You've got your own realities.
You got your own realities, and to be honest with you, even when you are married, you are 2 distinct humans. And the 2 will become one.
What do you think about that statement? Is it realistic?
It is realistic to the extent of the definition. But you must not create your own definition to it. It is not now that we don't have now we have one agak.
How is that
now agak and some other girl X
but then,
become one.
Then you're also still being told the man is the head.
You are into politics.
But 2 is no. I mean, how is 2 1 and then upper kind of the man is the head? Does it make sense?
Jagero, to say that you become one in marriage is that's an hypothesis that's rarely the case. Especially now, I think marriage is a political union, in that everybody's just looking for their interests. At some point, there's the unifying. They are the things that unify you, like the common goal of we are trying to improve our lives, we are trying to improve our finances, we are trying to improve the lives for our kids and everything. But then at the deepest level, there's the reptilian urge that every human has in themselves that, okay, you are pushing the cards that will get you something from the other motherfucker. Even if you take the biblical, some of the biblical stories that you are learning, take the story of Jacob and his brother Esau. All right, one is closer to the mother, the other one is closer to the father. All right, while the mother and the father are united around the common goal of raising a family. All right, we see the mother going back and playing tricks to advocate for the son that he loves. That she loves. Yeah. You see it? So to say that at some point we become, in a marriage we become one. You are different people, but at some point you become one. And in reality you become one.
That is why I was saying that I think in marriage you're better off creating your own formula and adapting.
Yeah.
Because there are shocks.
They are shocks.
They are serious shocks.
Serious shocks.
And those shocks, I think the best thing is for you to quickly adapt.
Yeah.
And there is the belief that hii kitu nimeingia kumbe si chenye nilikuwa nafikiria. And then you start adapting to what it really is. And standing your ground. You know? Because it is also true that once you've got into marriage, your spouse can have a lot of power over you. Whether you are the man or whether you are the woman. Because there is that ring that I never wear. Yeah? You see, because of that certificate that is in the cupboard. Yeah? Because of the fact that your father and your mother, my father and my mother were in church, and the pastor was there and asked us a few questions, and we said, till
death
do us part. That is why till death do us part is not in Luo land. Do you know it's not in Luo culture? Till death do us part is not in Luo culture. Luo culture, once you're married, you're married. In Chiliel, when your husband dies,
you can find someone.
You are the wife of the grave. Even your brother who is coming to take care of the
inheritance.
Yes, those kids are not his. Those kids are the kids of the man in the grave.
Damn.
Yes. In Luo culture,
Like if you get kids with your husband's brother,
yes,
those kids are taken as the dead man's kids.
Yes. They are the dead man's boys and girls. You are invisible. Jater is invisible.
Oh.
Yes. It's called the Levir, the man who takes care.
Yeah. In fact, Jater, they are very indispensable. Is that the word?
They are dispensable.
They are very dispensable. We even have a song around it. Jatero nyono paka.
Pakayanye swani.
Kaonge de swanyini. Now you can understand the place of that man in that space. You know how the society views another man who goes into another man's house for the continuity of that other man's legacy. You are very dispensable. But I like that bit of, the Luo assume that once it's for forever, you know? It's for forever. It's good for longevity. But on the other side, women from other tribes are scared by that. Women from other tribes are scared by that. Try to tell her.
We should. That's what we are going to talk about next. So let's not delve into it so much. We're going to be talking about wife inheritance in Luo culture after this podcast.
But Jagira, I want us to go back to where we began this, because I don't think you have gotten your answer, because you were saying that you don't understand how one man can be so faithful when he's dating, but on the other end, it's just spraying the lisasi. All right? Unarusha tuma lisasi kama uko kwa nini. Now, think of the statement that you gave us. You say that before you got married, your wife had known you for 7 years. 7 years. Add those years to the time you have spent together. That's a lot of time. Now, Rix, do you think you can replicate that same level of knowledge, of knowing someone through coffee dates?
No.
By doing coffee dates and stuff?
No.
And do you think it's wise to invest such amount of time and energy in knowing someone whom you know this thing is not going anywhere? All right, you just want to have a hit and go home. All right, you can't. So costs versus yield is very different. Is very different. Now that should tell you why when a ninja is not dating, he can run wild. But when he's dating, he can stay faithful. The same man
But now, why are you guys not dating? And these girls that you are kanyagaing, they are not. They are watoshi mboga.
You know what you are looking for when you are trying to date. Not everybody that is sexually appealing.
That's not a good statement.
It is the reality. It's not a good statement, but it is the reality. Not everyone you can have sex with is good.
It's a good candidate for dating.
It's a good candidate for dating. Not everyone. Even in your dating life, even if sometimes there is someone whom
so this is. But how do you gauge? Because how do you gauge that they are not good candidates of dating, or they don't want to date, Rex?
How do I explain this?
I hear they say that statement. They explain it to me like a
5-year-old.
Whatever they say. Hey.
Oh Lord.
I'll give you. Let me. I want to really break it down in a way. For example,
5-year-old.
We have some friends we play FIFA with. Some of them are people we can't call to ask for money.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
But once in a while, we come to play. Right? We invite them in our spaces. We don't talk to them every day the way the three of us talk. They won't know our problems. Maybe once in a while here and there. But they don't know, oh, Maya drew this. They don't know that shit. Yeah? They don't know. I woke up with a cold one day and I couldn't speak on phone. They don't know. You guys know when there's a woman in my house. You do know. Those guys don't. They don't. Right?
Yeah.
So it's just this dance. It's a dance. Yeah? There are people who you feel I want to invest more with, and they are also in a place where you guys can exchange this thing. And there are others who you can exchange really just little. You can just exchange little because both of you don't feel fit enough. Jamaa 1 hour ameamka.
Producer tulia. Kuna mambo.
Both of you don't feel fit enough to go that extra mile of exchanging much more. That's the simplest way I can put it. Or one of you feels the other is not fit enough for them like that. And then you both agree, okay, for this one, this is the context with which we are going to relate.
Yeah.
It's really just that simple. The thing is, these are issues that are made to look like they're so new, but in the human condition, it's just what it is. Now they're more in the public space or phenomenon, right? And also women have been more vocal about their sexual lives. Now they're on top of the table also, you know, and the conversations are changing.
Okay.
And power dynamics are also changing, which I like so much.
Okay, thank you guys. We're going to be talking about wife inheritance after this, but do you have a lot to say about it?
I don't think so, but I can chime in.
Yeah, Gak and us and me, they have he knows it. People of the internet, thank you very much for tuning in to this podcast, Dialogues with Jagero, with the Ricks, also known as Onyango Tieno, also known as Ricks, and Kwajdala, with the government name George Agak. Thank you very much, gentlemen. It's always a pleasure. I like your company. You guys annoy me. Fuck you, but that's okay.
You love us.
Yeah. So I want to ask these gentlemen, the people that are watching, not gentlemen, the people that are watching, please, if you like my podcast, if you like this podcast, please consider subscribing. I have always said that the quality of guests that we'll get on this podcast just depends on the subscriber base. If a lot of people like what they see, a lot of people are commenting on what they see, they will most likely come to this podcast. So if there is a guest that you've not seen in this podcast, you have not seen them because you have not subscribed.
Somebody
Please
fill my
do
cup.
subscribe.
Oh Lordy.
Until another episode, thank you very much and bye for now.
Hey. 19. Hey, ya waja teach Nyasaye.
8.
Hey, why 8 bana, na iko karibu na hapo katikati bwana.
Sha, nje. Villager.
Sasa mimi niko na ngapi? 27. Villager anajua hii kitu. Villager. Once ameshafika 40. Villager. But bust itakupata. Bust itakurudisha tu. Yeah. Okay.
Zimetoka after 20 minutes.
For the drinks nazatoka mapema like 5 food
but what we will take the food without the drink. Waambie wataleta together when we are in there, si ndio? Ama that, what do you think? You just drink.
Imeshafika. Hii yangu imeshafika. Hiyo yenu inaweza
Walete tu together when they are doing.
Hizo zingine zibaki, sasa mimi.
Haya, endelea. 21. You nje.
Rizwa ameuma nje. Mimi ndo nimebaki.
Mwenda pole ajikwai.
Mwenda pole ajikwai. Hii kitu. Mimi wacha nikuje niweke. Haya. Basi itakupata. Zuri unajifanya hapo ti unaenda.
That's doing well. 2.
17.
Damn. 19.
You go and remove your darts when you're done.
Oh, but Jagero is standing right in front of it. He wants to be removing them. Sawa.
4.
Hey, Jagero. Bado niko mbele.
Uko mbele?
Si niko mbele yako na 2. Rixi. Nyonyango. Hey, Rex amepita.
Amepita nani?
Anapita nani? Mwenda pole ajikwai.
Mwenda pole ajikwai.
Is the motto.
Meaning what?
Kwa ajili ala prepare for action.
Play. Meaning what? Manutende nami.
Yeah. Mwenda pole ajikwai means what?
Anaenda pole pole. Hizo ndo vitu za wahenga we should not be listening to now. Why 5? Fuck it. Why 5? That doesn't count, so you just pick it and do it afresh.
Chukua hizo dati zako hapo.
Actually, this therapeutic pulling them out feels good.
Feels nice.
Villager.
Umepata ngapi?
Nimepata kidogo.
Kidogo sana. Hiyo ni mbofu. Nakula dota. Hai, moja.
Hey, but mbona unadonga nje na uko na points mingi kuniliko? Aye. I always thought the closer umedonga. Unadonga nje. Mimi nitadonga hiyo bullseye. Nikidunga hiyo bullseye.
Sha, nje.
3 points.
Imejaa sukari ba?
Sukari gani? You always complain when you take my tea.
Kwenda prepare. Tunacheza after this. Si tutacheza tu with our names. You just take your names.
Fuck it, 17. Okay. Ay, nje.
Nje. Focus.
0 mbala 2. Bust will bring you down.
Not today, bro.
Bust will bring you down. Hey, Jag. Wow.
Kazi kwako. Kazi kwako.
Jamaa anafanya nje sana. 18. Sawa.
Mwenda pole ajikwai.
Huyu anajikwaa. Huyu anajikwaa.
That is tea.
It is full of sugar.
Ayawa. What am I fucking doing with my life? Inje. Inje gani? Hii tena si dunge inje mara ngapi? 131.
Chukua hizo vitu zako bwana.
Mimi naenda. Mimi. Sasa what is the deal? Hey, 12. Hey.
Wewe baki na 12.
Hey man.
Mimi nimebaki na mingi bado. Mimi bado niko far.
Wewe uko hata ni sawa. You are outside the line.
Okay.
Dagira wacha kuiba.
Ai.
Bust will take you down.
You know, I just needed to be here and I win. Here.
Wow.
Please take out your dust.
That's right. Sums up your fucking
Rex unakuja, unanipita bwana.
Sasa mbona unaenda nje?
Wamechukua.
Hajachukua.
Please take out your darts. Imeenda, si imempatia 8 points.
Yeah, but the other one has gone out. Kwa jala.
Yeye unasema imeenda nje ndio imempatia 8.
Na mbona mimi sina nini? Sina picha.
Mbona inaanguka?
Uliambia yule dema apige picha yake.
Alipiga nani?
Picha ya mkono.
Weka mkono. They don't store information here, bro.
What the fuck is happening?
What's wrong with this guy, surely? you can really get that thing? Kama hii kubwa ndio ukipata.
Ile kitu kingine.
He has one more.
I have one more sijamaliza.
Toka hapo utadungwa na hizo vitu.
Hey, you bust.
Bust gani?
You go.
Bust.
Si nimeona.
Woo! Sasa nimeharibu zile zangu zingine.
Zote.
Ayawa. Bust, motherfucker, bust.
Oh, bust.
Bust.
Lisa anakuja tu pole pole mpaka anashika.
Mwenda pole ajikwai. Sasa alisema.
Mwenda pole ajikwai.
What the
Why
hell?
is it still saying take out your darts?
Fika tani yangu.
Yeah, remove bwana.
Umerikni. Inakwambianga Rix prepare.
You can also take from this side looking at his face while he's shooting it.
Hey, Rix amenipita. Juu ya bust. Bana nilidunga moja ikanipatia 51. Hiyo 50 ndio ilikuwa bust.
Imagine you are hanging out with somebody and then he dies and then you say ni chaile mnyonga.
Akututu.
Nga.
All points.
Nga.
Pick it for me.
Yeah.
Wait. Mimi nadunganga nje sometime. All right. 148.
Ndio ufanye mambo yako.
Jax, I think it's you. Villager. Hey.
Kitu sasa unajua.
Now it's because of the bust.
Nje. Nice.
Dunga nje.
Sijapata.
Guys, so good.
9 points. Sasa umebaki na ngapi?
This thing.
Sasa umebaki na ngapi?
Tolewa.
Ajitolewa ni 177. Umebaki na 3.
Umebaki na 3.
But you see that's now the problem. Tatu hizo sasa utapata saa ngapi?
Hey, Rick.
Bust.
146.
Now this 30, where was it when I needed it?
Bwana, mimi lunga moja kanipatia 50, 51, nikasema where was it? Tukianza. Adhiambo, I do you how Adhiambo?
Adhiambo sianda. Adhiambo. Kauko. Echa, bust. Goal gigo.
Bana narudi tu 148 juu ya hiyo bus.
Hii basi inatusumbua.
Hiyo bus inatusumbua, Jagero. No, just one. Take it out.
What do you think? You thought it was 12? It needs to be. Oh! You need to get it. Update your system. Update your memory. Too old for
Rex,
this
prepare for action. Nyonyango. 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 Rex hajapata bust. Ako 158 sahi. Sasa mimi nimebaki na ngapi? Si nipate tu Ajala. Tange nyang. I think I want to stand like this. If I stand like this.
Nje. Chukua.
At least sina bust. Hiyo bust inaniharibia. Basi unajua inakurudisha to before you through.
Go.
Huh? I need to go 3.
Yes. Mimi sasa nahitaji ngapi?
How did I forget?
169?
You're beyond the line.
34 bust. Toa. Toa hiyo mtu yako unasumbua watu bure. Mimi nahitaji
that shit on a t-shirt, man.
Mimi nahitaji toa pasi. Toa basi.
That's too good, man. Toa pasi.
Wewe unafaa ukue ngapi? Mingi sana, uwe bust.
Na mtu akininia
mimi I need 11.
You need 50.
Hapa katikati.
11 iko wapi? 11
ndio hii.
Game inafaa iishi.
Ndio hii.
Hiyo ndio 11. 11, eh?
Oh my God.
He's got it.
I get it! Motherfuckers! Hey,
Congratulations.
That feels good, motherfucker. I don't know because I'm getting it.
You are the villager.